Welcome to the Executive Departments and Administration Committee. I would like to ask Representative Kelly to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will open the hearing on House Bill 1093, and I invite the prime sponsor, Representative Tanya Donnelly, to introduce her bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. And thank you, committee members and colleagues, for hearing my testimony today. This bill was brought to me by a constituent within the Salem charter community, and she is here as well to be able to testify. She actually is the dean of the Salem Birches Charter School. And this was something that she had found out by a local charter school in Nashua, that they bumped into a small cleanup in language. And that basically is that the charter schools that are public charter schools weren't considered equal as public schools when they were doing renovations or changes to their facilities. And so what we're just trying to do with this particular bill, it's a cleanup bill. It's just cleaning up some language to add in here for the purpose of this section. The public school buildings include facility owned, operated, and occupied by public charter schools established under RSA 194-B. That's basically the extent of the change, and that's just to add additional language about charter schools. I just would love to say, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer to them, I'm happy to refer them to Jessica. She will have them.
Okay. Thank you. I will ask a question first. From my discussions with you and discussions from the people involved, it sounds like in the past, chartered public schools were treated just like any other school, and a change in interpretation of our existing laws just led to it being treated differently. And we're trying to fix this. We're trying to go back to how it initially was interpreted when those laws were passed. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there other questions from the committee? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, I'll call up Jessica Washman. And if you could introduce yourself when you're on the microphone and then present to us. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Hi, my name is Jessica Waxman, and I'm the Dean of Operations at the Birches Academy Charter School in Salem. I'm also a Salem resident, lifelong New Hampshire resident. I also serve on the Alliance for Public Charter Schools, which is the organization that supports all of our charter schools, chartered public schools here in New Hampshire.
Thank you. Would you like to speak to why you brought this forward and some of the challenges that you've seen?
Yes, thank you. So 2 years ago, the Birches Academy was actually, to step back, this is our 14th school year, the Birches. We're one of 38 approved public charter schools in New Hampshire right now. And 2 years ago, we were able to purchase the building that we had been leasing for the previous 12 years. And in doing so, we wanted to make modifications and renovations to the building. And when we went to the town's attorney said that we were treated as every other entity, not a public school, as far as his interpretation of the current law was. And so therefore, when it came to zoning and permitting fees, that we would be required to pay those just as every other business would be able to. When we tried to go back and say, but the public schools in Salem don't have to go through this process, he said his interpretation of the law was this. When I went out to the greater charter community, Amy Bottomley, who is the head of school at the Micro Society Academy Charter School in Nashua, had a very similar experience in the city of Nashua with their interpretation. I was fortunate that mine didn't cost me as much as hers did, but she had over $100,000 in additional fees because they didn't recognize her as a public school. She had to do traffic studies, move fire hydrants, move her driveway. I had to pay over $20,000 in fees, and go through additional approvals. But my fees were obviously significantly less than hers were. So I think when we went out to the charter community as a whole, we realized that every town is interpreting this differently.
Thank you. Are there questions from the committee? Representative Sellers?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The question I have is, who owns the building?
Currently, my building, the Birches Academy, owns the building. And for Micro Society, they own the building as well.
One
Can you follow up?
Yeah, and so it's privately owned. It's not government owned, is that correct?
It's owned by the charter school itself.
Which is privately owned.
I don't know if I would, you know,
And
in our charter, if there's a dissolution, those assets go back to there is a certain, in the law, there's language about how if there's dissolution, any assets that we own and how we have to get rid of those. And the first person that receives them is the state. To receive money back for, you know, those types of things.
Thank you. And I'm sure you're aware that we do have some private-public partnerships with schools. We have public academies like Pinkerton and Co-Brown.
Right.
Where they sort of straddle that line between private and public, and they're treated as public schools, correct?
Correct, yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Representative Sitek, my apologies.
Hi. Is there any hope that the recess will not be on asphalt? At the location?
We are hoping, yes. That is in our long-term plan, is to remove some of the asphalt. Again, as part of the zoning requirements in Salem, they require a certain number of parking spaces, which a traditional public school doesn't have to adhere to. So every time I go before them, they ask me how many parking spaces I currently have.
Follow up?
How come you haven't invited the legislators lately? I haven't been there for a couple of years.
Oh, we had invited them. We did a legislative open house last year, and it wasn't an election. Oh, it was an election year. We did it last year. We had one in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce.
I'm on the list, you
I
know.
know. I don't know why you didn't see it, but we did do one last year. Yeah. I'll make sure next time that I reach out to you directly.
Thank you.
I'm sure he was gonna ask whose fault is that?
Thank you. And so I had reached out to you because I wasn't sure that having this language in the general building code section would do what you were looking to do. And is it correct that when it was denied, it was because the town said that you didn't, the chartered public school didn't fit the definition in RSA 674-54?
Correct. They said we're not specifically listed in that statute. It just said public schools and not chartered public schools. And so their interpretation was it didn't apply to us.
Okay, thank you. And that's the governmental use that allows schools to be treated, government property to be treated differently than private property.
Correct. Yes.
Representative Grota?
I just want to make sure that the committee understands that there's a difference between a public charter school and one that isn't part of the public, because there are private charter schools as well.
In New
right?
Hampshire, there are no private charter
Okay.
schools. New Hampshire only allows public charter schools.
Okay.
And they don't allow third-party organizations to come in and open a charter school. There's very specific requirements about who can open one.
Yes, okay.
And so and that is specific to New Hampshire.
Okay, good, thank you.
Representative Sitek?
Isn't the Goddard School a private,
It's not a public charter school.
it's private? completely
Yes, it's a private
Okay.
school. Yes.
And then the last question is, if we pass this and it's clear that it's government use, are you saying it'll be easier for kids to play on grass than on asphalt?
Yes, it will be. We can tear that up pieces of it up without having to get permission for a number of parking spaces we have in our parking lot.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other pink sheets to speak to this bill? Seeing none, I will close the hearing on House Bill 1093, and I would like to open an executive session on House Bill 1093. I have distributed an amendment, so I will move Amendment 2026-1013H. That one's on the table, and it's been distributed to everybody. And were you seconding that?
Seconded.
Okay, thank you. So what this does is after I had spoken with everybody and found that the problem was because chartered public schools weren't specifically in that statute for governmental use, I thought that it would be a lot cleaner, more obvious to those people who are making these decisions if it's added in that section instead of added into the general building code language, and also might avoid some additional hiccups that could happen when you're putting something into a large general section like you would have in the definition section for the state building code overall, and that this is a targeted way to allow this equal treatment for the chartered public schools. And this is one that I had shared with the prime sponsor and that I shared as well. And I believe everybody that I've spoken to is in agreement that this change solves a problem for them. So if there's other further discussion on this. Yes, Representative Sellers?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just trying to make sure that on first page on line 11, where it's been treatment as governmental use, under 67454, this is not going to cause any charter schools to lose their uniqueness as a charter school. I mean, is it going to get the government more involved in that aspect of like a school board and so on and so forth, stuff like that?
Thank you. No, that shouldn't, because the treatment for governmental use is so the process for governmental use for local zoning and planning decisions is that the governmental use goes before the planning board or whichever the appropriate board is, and shares what they're doing to get feedback. Because as separate governmental units, they're better able to come to cooperation and agreement than if you have a private entity that can say, nope, I can do what I want if you don't have that government oversight. And so this is putting it into that section that in the last couple of years, people were bringing as a question. And one of the things that they'd stated is that the except otherwise provided in law, there was a claim that because there was the right to the local decisions, that therefore it wasn't permitted. So this is just to clarify this language. And hopefully I'll get a thorough review as well in the next area, but I think that this is a elegant way to add the language in with hopefully not creating any other side effects from the change in language. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
The motion is,
I moved over the amendment. Yes.
the motion is to adopt Amendment 1013H, and Representative Slutchy.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative, he's not here. Representative Bailey.
Aye.
Representative Sellers.
Yes.
Representative, he's not here. Representative DeRoy.
Yes.
Representative Kelly.
Yes.
Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Dargy.
Yes.
Representative Long.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
It's unanimous, however many that is. 3, 6, 9, 12. 12-0. Adoption of the amendment.
The amendment is adopted. Representative Groda, did you have a motion?
I had a motion of ought to pass with amendment 1013H.
I'll second that. Nobody else did.
Yes. Would you like to speak to your motion?
I think the amendment discussion covers it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
I
Representative Saita?
may
Yes.
withdraw my second if I don't get invited next time.
I apologize. I should have asked you to speak to your second. And if there's no further discussion, when the clerk is ready, he can call the roll.
On adoption, ought to pass with amendment on HB 1093, Representative Slutchy.
Yes.
Clerk votes yes. Representative Bailey.
Aye.
Representative Sellers.
Yes.
Representative DeRoy.
Yes.
Representative Kelly.
Yes.
Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Dargy.
Yes.
Representative Long.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
The same cast of characters tells 0.
And the motion of ought to pass on House Bill 1093 with amendment 1013H passes 12-0. Is there any objection to this going on the consent calendar? Seeing none, that will go on the consent calendar. We can see, this probably won't make it into this calendar, but we might as well get it over to them as quickly as we can with the report. Thank you all. We have now taken close the executive session. We have now taken final action on all of our House bills. Thank you very much. Please take a deep breath this coming week before we start again with our 29 Senate bills so far.
Oh, my God.
So thank you all very much. And with that, this committee day is adjourned.